welcome to Come Home, and I'm Jen Mallan. I'm so grateful that you are watching the program today. Grab your coffee, your tea, or whatever you like to drink as you watch and receive ministry. I have some pictures of me in Israel. I always love to go and play at coffee shops, and that's me in Jerusalem, enjoying the beauty of the land and the coffee of the land. Well, today we have a wonderful program. It is a serious program, and I know it is going to bring hope and healing. It is going to help. It is going to shed light. It is about a very sensitive topic, but a wonderful topic, and one that we need to get more and more comfortable talking about. My guest, Donna Grisham, today has an incredible story. She was a victim of rape at 16 years old, and she shares the decisions that she made then and that she has made since then that have not only changed her life, but many others that she provides ministry and care to. This is near and dear to my heart because I am the result, the product of an unplanned pregnancy. My biological mother and father were 15 and 16 in 1969 when they made the decision to give me up for adoption. I'm so grateful. I celebrate life, pro-life. Join us in the Homekeeper's Kitchen as we have some chicken chili, white chicken chili, and then we will be right back with our amazing guest.
It's a great day to be in the kitchen. I have a special guest with us today, Linda Brown.
Hey, Stephanie!
Linda worked at CTN for so many years. In 1904. No.
Yes. Yeah, it was.
And now she's a missionary to Kenya.
Yes.
I'm so proud of her and so excited. And it's just, she's a world changer. She's a world changer. That's what you are.
Thank you.
So we're going to talk about your ministry.
Okay.
I'm going to get this going first, and then we're going to show some pictures, and you're going to talk.
Chicken chili.
White chicken chili today.
What can be better than that?
It's
Chicken
gonna
and
be so
chili.
Flavorful.
Yay.
So I have oil in the pan.
Okay.
I'm going to put onion.
Oh, we need some more of this.
That's cilantro.
Cilantro.
I'm going to saute the onion a little bit. I'm going to put garlic in. We have so many ingredients this time, so the ingredients will come up on the screen. The amounts will come up on the screen. You guys can get the recipes on the fan page.
Oh, go
CTN.
get them. This one smells good. I can't. You gotta get this one.
CTN web page, my blog. It's going to be a plethora of ways.
There's
for
places
you
to find it.
Yes. So I'm going to turn this up a little bit and saute it. And I have cumin. Let's go through this. Cumin, paprika, dried oregano, ground coriander, and cayenne pepper. So many flavors. So good. So
And this one, I think I like all of it, I think. You didn't
think
say
you
anything.
like-
Yeah,
All right.
we're good on this
it's
one.
a winner. I have a little can of green chilies. That adds so much flavor. Frozen corn adds a little sweetness. Lime juice. I love lime juice. Okay, let me get this. You want to cook this a lot longer. We're going to speed cook, right? Because
we're pretending.
We have more to get to, yes. Okay, a little sauteing there. I'm going to add, sure, thank you, be my sous chef. Green chilies. I'm going to add chicken broth.
Yummy.
I'm going to add half of this. And let this slow cook at home for a little while and let all those flavors marry.
I don't know if you think this, but I like chili the second day.
Oh, yeah,
It's always better.
Definitely, so
all those
good.
flavors get to mix together.
Yes. Let's see. I think I'll stop there.
Go with that. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to crank this up. I'm going to get this cooking a little bit. While this is heating up, let's look at some pictures.
Oh, you want to? Okay.
So let's look at those pictures.
I like pictures.
Yeah.
This is me in the classroom at the school. I love my babies. Started out with 45. Now, Stephanie, 175.
Come on.
Yeah, in a few months we're going to make it up to 200.
You had no idea
babies.
what God was going to do. You had no idea.
Feeding them babies 2 meals a day. Woo.
Yes.
And that's why they're so smart.
One more picture.
Oh, that's me in market. There's a community market every Thursday where we get a chance to, everybody comes in from the villages, so you get to opportunity to share God with them. So
Is there one more? Yep, look at that.
My babies.
And junior high is what you're adding this year. So that's your
Yes.
original sign, and you added junior high
I just
to this.
added junior high to it, and on the two ends are two young ladies. They all shave their head, and the young man in the middle. Those are my babies.
Love it.
And you can't tell in the
it.
picture, but they're taller than me now.
Yeah.
They're
Aw.
doing so good, and that's actually the property right behind them where we're going to be building the school.
World changer right here. We like to bring you ministries that we know if you sow seed into it, it's
Yeah.
good seed. So
Thank you.
Check out the
Thank you.
website. Check out the ministry.
Please do.
Jump in. So
And I'll say
cream
this
cheese.
about please check ministries out before you give your money
Oh,
to
most definitely.
it. You
Like,
make sure
not
that's
just-
where the money
don't
goes.
just go to the website. Like,
Asking people.
yes.
Ask around.
Yes. Make sure you're checking because
Yeah.
not everyone is honest.
No, they're not.
I have chicken. That was cream cheese. This is
Oh, that's
rotisserie
looking so
chicken,
good.
which I think is probably
So
the
good.
best bang for your buck because you don't have to cook it.
Can we give plugs?
Yeah.
Publix chicken.
That's where it came from.
Right.
I have frozen corn. I have a lime juice. Now the
Yes.
recipe calls for some of these beans to like put in a processor and you know, sometimes you just don't feel like going through all of that. So I'm putting
That
all
looks really
the whole
good.
beans
Who needs a
in.
processor? That looks
Right?
really good.
So good. I'm going to put a little bit of salt and pepper with my fancy salt
Look
grinder.
at you.
A little bit of pepper, and then we're going to put some cilantro.
Okay.
Which I just love.
Smells good.
Love cilantro. Thank you so much.
Oh, so
This
pretty.
is going to be delicious. Now, this needs to cook for a lot longer, right? So at home, let it cook low and slow.
Oh, but we're
and
still
just-
going to taste this
Oh,
business.
we're going to taste it. I'm just trying to get that cream cheese mixed up in there before we do.
I'll tell them it's really good. It'll be fine.
No, we don't lie.
No.
Listen, they've seen
No.
me spit things out on television before.
Yeah, we'll tell the truth.
This face does not lie. We've learned that. Okay, let's put some tortilla chips.
Oh, it gets even better.
Bam!
Look at
No.
that.
Okay, ready?
Do it.
Okay, let's do this.
Some of that juice in there.
That's
Oh,
delicious.
really? That is good. That
So
doesn't,
good.
See, that doesn't even have to wait for day 2. That's really good.
So this is white chicken chili. The amounts will come up on the screen. There's so many ways you can get it. I am so
Delightful.
happy to have you. Thank
Thanks,
you for
Steph.
coming
Love
and being
you.
with me. I love you more.
Doubt it.
Thank you for being with us, and we will catch you next time. God bless you.
That was delicious. Thank you, Stephanie. Well, I'm so excited about my guest today. It's been a joy to talk to her off camera and just hear her heart. In fact, let me read to you the opening line on her website. It says, "There is hope in the midst of an unplanned pregnancy." And my prayer is that no matter where you are in the journey, that you today, after watching this interview, will know there's hope for you. Whether you were the one who had an abortion, whether you were the one who influenced someone to have an abortion, whether you are struggling today about the right choice to make, you will get an answer, you will get hope and encouragement. And we have a new era that we are in right now, and the church must rise up, and the church must get in position. The church must be the solution to so many society ills, and I think today's program is going to set us up to pray, to care, to open our hearts, to heal, and to let the secret out. So my guest today is Donna Grisham. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you,
It's
Jen,
awesome.
for having me.
I think the best place to start is just your story, because there was a time that you didn't believe the way that you believe right now. So take us back to a 16-year-old girl.
I was 16 years old, and I lived with my grandparents at the time. And I happened to go to a bowling alley with some friends of mine, with a friend. Her parents picked us up, and we went to the bowling alley, and we were bowling, and she started talking to two guys next to us, and she was talking to this one guy, and she really was interested in the guy, and so they asked us to go ride and asked her, and so she came over to me and she said, you know, they want us to go riding, and I told them, I said, I can't do that, because before her parents picked us up, or picked me up, my grandmother told me not to leave the bowling alley. Whatever you do, don't leave the bowling alley until her parents pick you up. And I agreed. Okay, she kept saying, you know, let's go, and I said, I can't. I kept telling her no. Finally, the peer pressure at 16, I just gave in, and I went with her, and we went to pick up the guy that she was interested in, his truck, and as she got out of the truck, I went to get out also, and she said, she said, he'll take you back to the bowling alley. And I said, no, I don't want to. I want to stay with you. And she said, you know, she gave me this real, you know, evil look, like, you know, stay here. And so I didn't know what to do. So I just gave in again, and the guy pulled off as they pulled off and left to get the other guy's truck. He pulls off, and he goes a little way, and he pulls into an alleyway, like a dirt road, or it was a gravel road actually, and he reached over and kissed me, and I didn't do anything at that time, and then he went to kiss me again, and I said no, and he kept, you know, pushing himself on me, and next thing I know, he raped me. And after he finishes, he pulls off, and he's driving down the road, and I thought he was taking me back to the bowling alley. I was shaking, I was crying, as he pulls over on the side of the road, and he says, get out. And he opens the door, and as he opens the door, when he opens it, I just fall out of the truck. I mean, I don't know what to do. I just fall out of the truck, and I hit my elbows and skipped my knee, and I started walking, and I was trying to walk as fast as I could, but I was like, you know, and I finally got back to the bowling alley. When I got back to the bowling alley, that friend was there. And by the way, this friend was a friend that I had met at another school. She didn't go to the same school as me. She went to another school. And I had just met her, and we had become friends. That we had probably been a couple months friends. So she wasn't a long-time friend. And so as I'm walking into the bowling alley, she's standing over, and she sees me, and tears coming down my eyes, and I'm walking in, and she comes over, and she said, what's your problem? Oh. And so I ran to the bathroom, and I got in the bathroom. She come in, and I said, what's your problem? And I turned around, and I said, he raped me. Oh. And she goes, oh, just say what it was, consensual. Just tell it like it is. It was consensual. Well, before he dropped me off on the side of the road, he said, you're not going to breathe a word to anybody. He said, because first of all, nobody's going to believe you. He said, and second, you're going to be the one in trouble. He said, your grandmother told you not to leave. So when I was talking, when she was talking to me, and I was telling her that I couldn't go, he was listening to everything we were saying. So he used it against me. So he tells me that I'm in the bathroom with her. She's saying, just say at all. I was like, wait a minute. He's right. She don't even believe me. How, you know? And so I kept the fear of, I'm going to be in trouble. It's all my fault. This is my fault. I wouldn't have gotten raped if I didn't disobey. That was the thing. Yeah. And I talk to young girls, you know, and there's times where, you know, we've got to you have to listen to your parents. Yeah. They know what's best for you.
They have antennas.
My grandmother did not have any idea that was going to happen.
No.
But God did.
Yes.
And there's a warning to everything in our life.
Yes.
You know, now God did not cause that to happen.
No.
You know, but had I listened, I might not have been in this shape. But God, I love it because, I tell people, we all have a story.
Yes.
My story is the things I've went through. Your story is the things you've went through, the things. But when God intervenes in our story, it becomes a redemption story.
Yes, it does.
And it's a beautiful redemption story. So, after that, I went home. Her parents picked us up, and she, before we got in the car, she said, "Don't breathe a word.
Not a very good
Don't
friend.
breathe a word."
Not
Well,
a
I never
very-
saw her after that.
Oh,
Never.
Donna.
She was never.
I'm
she never.
sorry.
And so I went on and fast forward, and I buried everything because I didn't talk about it. I got home. I got in the shower. I tried to wash all the filth, all the smells, just everything off of me. I mean, I stayed in there for I don't know how long, 45 minutes to an hour, maybe longer, just trying to wash the filth off of me. And I went to bed. I buried myself in my pillow. I cried myself to sleep. I vowed in my heart that I was never going to talk about it.
Oh.
Never. I said, I don't have to. Nobody will ever know about this, and I'll just bury it deep within me, never to talk about. Well, I found out I was 25 weeks pregnant.
Oh, Donna.
Do we understand what 25 weeks?
Yeah.
25 weeks. The
Fully
baby can
developed.
can
Fully
survive.
developed. Absolutely.
And so my mother, by the way, who is now in heaven, and God's, we brought forgiveness between both of us long before she ever passed away. She was my biggest cheerleader and my biggest fan to finish writing that book. And I'm sorry. So anyway, so she takes me to Birmingham, Alabama, to a Planned Parenthood in Birmingham, and we go and to have an abortion. Okay, we go in, and as we go in, we fills out paper. We get all the stuff thing, and they inject me with what they call a saline solution. Well, I always try to tell people saline solution is injected into the amniotic fluid. The baby drinks that saline solution, and it burns the baby from the inside out. A horrible death. That baby dies a horrible death. That isn't a blob of tissue
No.
that just shrivels and
No.
It's that the saline solution burns. It's a full-fledged baby. It's a baby. Because after that, we have to go to a hotel. And we go to where we were staying, we go to the hotel, and we actually, I have to wait out. They don't tell me that, they basically said it's like passing a blood clot. So I think I'm gonna, even at the age of 16, passing a blood clot didn't even,
Compute.
wasn't,
You're young.
Yeah. So we go to the hotel. I end up going into labor, and my mom takes me to the Baptist Medical Center Hospital in Birmingham, Alabama, right next to the Planned Parenthood clinic. She takes me there. I have to deliver. I deliver a baby, not a blob of tissue, not a blood clot, but
right.
a baby.
Yeah.
And when I delivered that baby, the nurse was supposed to pull the curtain to. She did not pull the curtain to. And I happened to look over, and when I looked over, there was a big jar, and there was this form baby. Arms, legs, face,
Completely developed.
completely. But the saline solution, you could tell it had. And I instantly knew that that was my baby. So when people say that rape is, that abortion is okay for a victim of rape, and that's gonna, why would you have that woman carry that baby or that child of a rapist? Well, let me just say something. That baby was my baby.
Yeah.
That what I didn't see that baby from a rapist. It was the moment I saw that baby in a jar, I knew that baby was mine. And by the way, later on, the Lord showed me that baby was a little girl, and gave me the name.
What's her name?
Christian Nicole.
Oh.
But I commenced to screaming. And as I was screaming, the doctors, nurses, interns, everybody just comes running around trying to shut me up. They were saying, shh, shh, hush, hush, shut up. Don't, keep quiet, And the doctor said to the nurse, shut that curtain right now. Well, it was too late.
You'd already
I had
seen
already
her.
seen enough.
You saw her.
I didn't, shutting that curtain didn't change what I had already saw.
That's right.
And so and after that, the nurse got into my face and said, you shut up. She said, you'll be just fine. And evidently they gave me something because I blacked out. And the next thing I know, I woke up in the back seat of my mother's car. And
That's
woke up.
so traumatic, Donna. That's so traumatic. There's things like that you can only heal through the power of Jesus. The memories, the trauma, the hurt, the scars. Let's just fast forward a little bit. I know that you went on to have another abortion later in life.
Well, after that, my life literally spiraled out of control. Suicidal thoughts, suicidal tendencies. I ended up in the hospital numerous times.
Tormented,
yeah,
brokenhearted.
Yeah, and the thing about it is I didn't deserve to live. I felt like that what I had allowed to happen, that I didn't deserve to live. So what was the use?
Yeah.
So I tell people I was living to die. I was waiting for that moment where I could just die. So my life really didn't matter. I had no meaning, no purpose in life,
So you had another abortion. You were on a downward spiral. So tell me how you got born again, and tell me when you became pro-life. What was that moment?
Well, I went through the second abortion. It basically, when I had the second abortion, it really opened my eyes, to some things, because I had, when I was going into the clinic, and again, my mother took me, and I'm not out, I would love to just, the women, the mothers, they think, and parents think they're doing the right thing, but they don't know the trauma that they're putting on their daughters. That to cause them, and they think they'll just get over it, and it doesn't go away.
No.
And so I was on the table and had a what they call a suction abortion, and when the machine was turned on, I realized, and I said, turn it off, turn it off. Turn it off. I kept yelling, turn it off, but it was too late. They didn't turn it off. Oh. And my first thought was, what have I done? What have I done to my children? What have I done? And it just heaped that much more shame, that much more guilt, that much more just, I just wanted to bury myself, that much more of a spirit of death on me. Because when women have abortions, I'm going to tell you, a spirit of death enters. It enters that woman, and unless they are delivered and
inner healing, deliverance, the blood of Jesus, counseling, the word.
Yes,
it's traumatic.
Yes, and so I had the second abortion, and then a year later, I ended up pregnant again. That's the thing. See, okay, I never, back then I never thought I was getting pregnant on purpose.
Yeah.
But subconsciously, that's what happens. I got pregnant on purpose. I wanted that life. Yeah. I wanted that place to choose life. I wanted that, to make that right choice. Yes. And so when I got pregnant, I didn't want to tell my mother. I went to the pastor of our church, and he said, you know, you have to tell her. So he said, we'll tell her there's only two choices, life. He said, you choose life. That's the only choice there is,
Yes.
life. He
Yes.
said, but you can choose either adoption or to keep your baby. That's the only two choices you have, but you choose life.
Good for that pastor.
And so we called her in. She, you know, and she reacted totally different.
Yes.
And so we, you know, I'll fast forward. I ended up at PTL at Heritage Home for unwed mothers,
Praise
and
God.
I was there for the first 5 months of my pregnancy. Changed my life forever. I was raised, now going back to my grandparents, I was raised in a church that did not believe in healing, did not believe in miracles, and so my whole concept of being raised in church was this: they don't believe in healing. They don't believe. Well, how do I know this Jesus is real?
Yeah.
So I always questioned whether he was real. I always thought it was just a made-up story, and he was just, you know, wasn't real. And so, but when I was at PTL, I went to my counselor one day, and she asked me had I made up my mind about whether I, you know, was going to adopt or keep, and I hadn't that day. I said, you know, and so we go on, and we go to my, you know, room, and that day I just lay down, face down on the floor, and I, as I'm laying down, I said, this God I didn't even know, I said, you know, if you're real, then I need to know what to do. So I end up, have this vision, and this first vision ever in my life. Never had visions in my life. This is my first encounter with Jesus. And I see this vision of Jesus, and he is walking towards me, and I notice that I'm in this vision, I'm carrying a baby, and he is coming toward me. And the one thing I tell people is the look in his eyes. I never saw a look of disgust. I never saw a look of, you know, like, I'm ashamed of you. You know, you're no good. You'll not amount to anything. All I saw was a look of love.
Yeah.
His love permeated my whole being. And I handed him the baby, and I turned around and walked away. Well, I thought I was going to, you know, put the baby up for adoption.
But you ended up keeping the baby.
I did.
So
Yes.
we are at the last 30 seconds here.
Okay.
Donna's going to come back tomorrow. We're going to continue this story. We're going to hear the redemption, the victory, the turnaround, the ministry in her life. If you are crying right now because you have shame and hurt, Jesus is looking at you with that same love. There's no condemnation in Christ. Join us tomorrow right here. Come home.